Hi everyone, just reporting in for an update on our snow report, on our off-piste snow report for the northern French Alps that we put out last Thursday. This update will include four quick topics. The first one is we're getting more snow. We already got about 20 centimeters of snow at 2,000 meters in the northern French Alps last night. Looks like we may get the same amount in the next night or so and into tomorrow, maybe even a little bit more, 20 to 30 centimeters. So more snow, however, continued unstable snowpack above 2,400 meters. We're also going to talk quickly about most of the time, nothing happens. Most of the time, nothing happens, even if you are going on a potentially dangerous slope. And then we're going to finish off with some solutions. So to start off with new snow, just as I said, we're going to be getting new snow in the northern French Alps above at least above 1,800 meters, about 20-25 centimeters to add on to the 20 centimeters or so that we got in the last 24 hours or so. So that's a total of about 40-50 centimeters that we're going to get. And with blue skies forecast for Tuesday. Next thing is coming down on an unstable snowpack. Unstable snowpack, I mentioned that last week in my video report, and there were some accidents. Luckily, nothing bad happened. Nothing too bad. Some pretty bad injuries and some very close calls. Unstable snowpack above 2,400 meters. We're talking about unstable layers of snow in the snowpack. There's been some talk about the recent increase in temperatures in the last day or so. That is not of concern to skiers, and especially those of us above 2,000 meters or so. Any discussion of that is the wrong focus. The focus is weak layers in the snowpack and unstable snowpack, especially, but not just confined to the north-ish facing slopes. Maybe if you're down below 1,700 meters or so, 1,600 meters is a little bit of activity, a little bit of natural activity due to the recent warming, but that is not the issue. Also, about 95% of all accidents that happen to skiers, climbers, snowboarders is is cold, dry slab avalanches. And that's the thing we're worried about over the next week, and especially with the clearing on Tuesday when people are going to be really tempted, as I will be too, to get out there and take advantage of the really good snow. So the next thing I want to really emphasize is just as important as the unstable snowpack that we're experiencing here in the northern French Alps above 2,400 meters, the unstable snowpack. You combine that with some human issues. The fact that an unstable slope, the steep slope, 30 degrees or more, that is unstable, will only avalanche, I've estimated, and this is through research and observation over the last 30 years, probably one out of 1,000 times, if you go onto it without applying the basic risk reduction measures. Now that may sound like very little, but if you put it into the context of other sports and a general risk context, it's about as dangerous as base jumping. It's about as dangerous as base jumping, or more dangerous than base jumping, just sort of going out onto steep slopes with fresh snow on it because everybody else is, or I think it's okay, and you're not applying the risk reduction measures. And another thing about the fact that avalanches won't be triggered most of the time even on unstable slopes. It's very misleading. I was talking to some friends of mine who were out on Tuesday, went on a steep slope and triggered a big avalanche. One person was buried and almost killed and very badly injured, and the other two were really pretty shaken up. And one of the things each of them said to me, or at least two of them said to me, was that, well, lots of other people were on the same types of slopes and looked pretty good, and so we went for it. Now, that is what is misleading about avalanche danger in general. Most of the time, nothing will happen. And with my experience and my research, even on a danger rating of 4, when things should be really dangerous, and they are dangerous, only the odds are about 1 out of 1,000 times someone putting fresh tracks on a slope with very little risk reduction measures or no risk reduction measures. Now, that's only 1 time out of 1,000. So that means you will see tons of people going out there, having a great time, not doing what Henry says to do, And so why not us? Everyone else is doing it. And plus, I've gotten away with skiing some nice slopes in steep conditions, even when it's unstable. And people like Henry and all the avalanche forecasting services, as they are saying right now, are saying it's unstable. So remember that. Remember that it's easy to be misled. And I think a lot of people at the moment are being misled into thinking that it actually is okay. That's not the case. So some solutions. Well, how do we keep ourselves safe even in these conditions that can be really misleading and really unstable? Well, risk reduction measures, always practicing risk reduction measures and applying them, applying the things that you've learned. And one way of getting a really clear framework of the risk reduction measures that you should be applying, all of us should be applying, including myself, is on our henry'savalanchetalk.com homepage, our framework. Our risk reduction framework. Answering first is the question: is it safe out there? And it's very clear and concise. And if things aren't clear to you and you don't know what they're about, then take an avalanche course, off-piste course. Come to one of our talks, or see our online talk. And the other thing that you can do is check out our online talks. And I've just also posted a blog post called "Most of the Time Nothing Happens," which really gets to the heart of the issue of how easily we're misled into dangerous situations. Remember, maybe like even with the new snow and the unstable snowpack, there'll be thousands of people going out doing stuff. You'll be able to do things, but there's probably about a 1 in 1,000 chance that you'll trigger a potentially deadly avalanche on a steep slope. And even though that doesn't sound like very much, it actually is. If you put it into the overall context of risk, as I just said, and risk activities, that's about as dangerous or more dangerous than base jumping. And if you apply the risk reduction measures that I just mentioned that are on our website, and also you have links on our last blog post, you can reduce the risk of going off piste down to about something that's not any more dangerous than driving for an hour or so. Things that you do in your everyday life, no more dangerous than that. All right, maybe you won't get the mega thrills, but this is not a time to be going on and pushing the boat out. Unstable snowpack, fresh snow, awesome skiing, but if you have any doubts about it, keep on slopes below 30 degrees slope angles. In and around slopes of 30 degrees, 30 degree slopes or less, you'll be in a no-risk area. So to summarize what we just looked at, great snow coming up. In the next 24-48 hours, it's going to be on an unstable snowpack. All of this in the northern French Alps, above 2,000 meters or so. It'll be very easy to be misled because tons of people will be going out and having a good time, and that's just the nature of the phenomena of avalanches. Most of the time, nothing happens, even when it's dangerously unstable, as it is right now. And finally, solutions. Applying the risk reduction measures will make off-piste skiing and touring surprisingly safe. No more dangerous than the things you do in your everyday life. Where can you get a good framework for that? You can get it on henry'savalanchetalk.com. Look at our framework of answering the question, is it safe out there? That depends on you. It depends on where you go and when, how you go down or up, and also how well prepared you are for a crisis if the worst happens. That's it from me today. Thanks very much for listening, and see you soon here on henry'savalanchetalk.com, where safety is freedom.